First of all, like always, I want to thank you guys for making the trip and covering us. Open by saying that was the prettiest win I've ever seen in my 20 years. The water tastes better right now. The Gatorade tastes better. Your questions are going to be better. Everything is good right now. Really, really proud of our guys. We went in there afterwards. We went down and saw Kaiser on Wednesday, and everything we asked that guy about what we could do to help him, and all he wanted to talk about was the team and how much he missed the team and how proud he was of Marcus Allen, and all he wanted was the win. So we took a picture in the locker room with his jersey, and we're sending that to him. So really, really proud of our guys. Obviously, some notes: fewest points that Indiana's given up this year. Held Tevin Coleman to 71 yards. I think he had 10 straight 100-yard rushing games. We've won 3 of 4 games on the road this year, which is a good stat. Bill Belton, this is an amazing stat to me. It kind of shocks me, but the fact that Bill Belton has the longest touchdown run in Penn State history at 92 yards, and then 4th career 100-yard rushing game. So really proud of those guys. I thought, overall, special teams did what they had to do. We got to do a better job of kickoff. Ficken has been unbelievable with field goals, but we got to do a better job of being able to kick the ball deep in the end zone. Grant Haley, I think, has been special all year long. Talking about a guy in open space, tackling arguably week in and week out their best open field runner, and he's been really, really good at it. I thought Pasquarello was a little bit better. I don't know what the stats say, but I thought he was a little bit better today. He handled a bad snap, and I thought that was a big play in the game. Our defense was great throughout, and our offense found a way. We're a little bit more productive with the running game. Obviously, we still got some issues with protection and being able to run the ball consistently. But again, this is the prettiest win I've had in my 20 years of coaching, and I'm looking forward to getting back on that bus and head back home. Enjoy this win for a couple hours, if you guys will let us, and then wake up tomorrow morning and enjoy getting prepared for our next opponent. So, open it up to questions. Could I possibly have a Gatorade or a water or something?
Okay,
thank you.
Mike Wallace said defense thrives in lengths. Instead of getting angry when they're getting put in bad position by, forcing the game, they thrive on that. They like the challenge. They kind of, especially that late turnover, they call the midfielders, that kind of the defensive mindset.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Their job is to go out and get 3 and outs and get turnovers, and support our offense. And our offense job is to support the defense, and we all support special teams. Is there times that's going to come up? Yeah, there's no doubt about it, and that's when the team needs the defense to respond, and they've done a great job of that all year long.
James, what did you and Bob want to do against Coleman?
Well, what we wanted to do is do what we've really done all year long, and that's make people one-dimensional and stop the run. That's something that we've been able to do. We've been effective in the passing game as well because we've been able to get pressure on quarterbacks. This guy was a lot slippery than we thought. We hadn't really seen that on film, but I thought obviously we were really gap sound. We were aggressive. We were able to get off blocks and things like that. Thank you very much. And again, we were able to stop a good rusher. You look at his statistics. Their offense really went hand in hand with him. They were not an efficient offense. They would go 0 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, and then break an 80-yarder. And they've been doing that week in and week out. And we've done a pretty good job. We put an emphasis on stopping explosive plays. So I don't know if we did a whole lot more than what other people had done, down in and down out. What we were able to do is stop the big plays. And I think Jeff was telling me he's had a run of like 43 yards or longer, in almost every game this year. So it's an amazing stat. And I thought our defense did a great job again of stopping the run.
James, why do you use the word prettiest in describing that victory?
Beautiful. Would you prefer beautiful? Wonderful? I don't know. I don't have a whole lot.
What was so pretty about it?
It's a W. We're going to enjoy wins around here, and after some of the emotional games that we've had, we'll take 25 more of these. We'll take as many of them as we can get. And I think it says something that when you can go out there and you can find a way to get a win. You know, when maybe you didn't play your best football in all 3 phases. I thought we played great on defense, but you know, you got to find a way to gut these games out. We did that earlier in the year. We got away from it a little bit, and now we're back on it. So we're going to enjoy it.
James, you had first and goal from the 1 and resulted in no points. Did you say anything to the offense when they came out off the field, and how do you feel about the way they bounced back from it?
Yeah, you know, obviously, you know, we were able to move the ball and to get the ball on the 1 yard line and not be able to punch it in. We'll have to watch that film and evaluate, but you know, it just comes down to you just got to say, I am going to score with my man. If every guy says, I'm going to block my guy into the end zone and score with my man, then the running back's going to get in. You know, we got to look at that. We've been really good in goal line situations. That's the first time I can remember that happening in a long, long time. So, you know, we'll watch the tape, but once again, our defense was able to respond. I thought our offense came back in spurts. You know, our protection is still an issue. When we go max protect and go 7-man protection, and the kid's still running for his life, we got some things we got to look at, obviously.
James, I know a couple of weeks ago you said the plan with Miles would be to work him in gradually. I think he played 2 or 3 series today, played on both sides. Was that the plan today, and how do you think he did, and was he able to make it out of there?
Yeah, I can't really comment on it. It's hard, obviously, you know, an interior lineman to be able to tell exactly how he played. But yeah, the plan going into this was to get him 1 or 2 series in the game, and then hopefully build some confidence and grow from there. You know, you'd love for him to at least double that by next week, but it's also going to depend on how he feels tomorrow morning. You know, so you don't go from not doing anything for 7 months to playing half the game. We were hoping to get 1 or 2 series out of him in a half.
You touched on a little bit with Grant Haley, but this game you might have been the first in a long time. You won the special teams battle, and with kick coverage and punt coverage, I thought you were really good. That can swing a game, essentially winning that instead of losing that.
Correct, and we haven't been able to pull that off. So I still think we can get better in our punt game. I really do, but you know, we were able to make some plays. The fact that they're not getting any return yards is big. You know, even their number 1 win is an explosive player as well. So that was big for us tonight. I believe in Gula and I believe in Pasquarella, and I think those 2 guys can be really good punters for us. So we're just going to keep working with them. And I thought overall he did a great job tonight. I think that was a big factor in the game.
James, can you talk about the timing of Belton's touchdown? You guys had just given up a big play, and to kind of come back with a counter punch like that, how important was that?
Really important. I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. You know, when you can hand the ball off. Really, we ran a very similar play that we've run all year long, but we just did it from a different look with Jesse in the backfield. And, you know, go 92 yards, you know, the whole time I was willing him into the end zone. It just seemed like I've never seen a run like that where the guys were like right on his back the entire 92 yards. But he was able to get in the end zone. It was a big play, and I'm really happy for him too. You know, you look at Zwinek and Belton; those guys have played here, played well for a long time. So, you know, for him to make a big play like that, you know, we talk about a little bit of the frustration at times with the offensive guys, but I see him sticking together. I thought Hack, his leadership was really good, and I thought all that was important. Their body language, their demeanor, and all that kind of stuff all week long.
Christian Campbell, I thought, had a really great day. Made a huge play on special teams and a couple of stops. Just from your perspective, did you see him step up?
Yeah, I've been pleased. I mean, I mentioned to you guys before, and I actually said 3, and that's not even right. Our 4 fastest players on our team are true freshmen, and 1 is redshirting. The other 3 are playing a lot and making big plays for us. You know, we had some guys go out. Christian's been playing more and more reps all year long. Grant Haley, the same thing. You know, I don't think we got Apke in on defense. We wanted to do that, but it was such a tight game we weren't able to do it. You know, give him another week of preparation. Hopefully his reps spike up as well.
James, Christian's 2 interceptions, 1 was for a touchdown. Your view of it, would you put them on him, or was it the protection, or how did you feel he played today, especially regarding him?
No, they were screen plays, so those plays weren't really specific to the protection. A lot of it is, maybe it's based on the protection, the fact that we're having to call so many screens to try to get the ball out of his hand quickly. So the last play was a screen play, which we actually had. It went off of Bill's hands, and they picked it off. So, you know, I'm not really putting the blame on anybody but myself. I'll take responsibility for that.
James, how important is Wortman been your pass defense, not just interception?
Yeah, I think Mike Hull is really led by example for our entire defense in the way he practices, in the way he prepares, everything. And I think our defense is really gaining confidence because they're playing well. And I think Mike really sets an example. We went into this year feeling really good about Mike, and those other two guys, we felt really good about their potential, but they needed to do it down in and down out, and they have. You know, we lost, I think, Naeem for one game, and then he came back, and he's been playing. This is the first game we had him back with really his hand just taped up and not playing in a cast. And I think that's been helpful for him as well. So I'm proud of all those guys. I really am.
James, what can a win, your first win in 7 weeks, what can it do for this team and their psyche?
The first win in how many weeks?
7.
Wow.
Counting 5. Counting 5 weeks.
Oh, I was going to say, golly, your math is a little bit different than mine. It doesn't seem like it's that long. I don't know. We're happy to get a win this week. We really are. You know, great team win. We gutted it out. We're able to send that picture to Kaiser, feel good about that. Enjoy the game today, and then focus on our opponent next week is who? Temple. We'll start focusing on Temple on Sunday, and be excited about that. But you know, we're going to enjoy this win.
James,
we're going to enjoy
the lead and the way your defense was playing, was there more of a conscious effort, you know, just to keep them on a long field, not make big offensive mistake?
We've really been doing that for the last 4 weeks, but it's hard to play field position, football when you're not punting the ball really well. When you're not consistent on offense, and then you're not consistently punting the ball. We've taken that approach the last 4 weeks. Is if times are getting tough, let's try to put our defense in a position to win the game. I'm proud of them. They stepped up time and time again. And again, great team win. I know the defense is unbelievably supportive of the offense. I know the offense is unbelievably supportive of the defense. And everybody's excited about the special teams. So looking forward to getting back out on the field on Sunday and practicing to get better and find a way to be 1-0 next week.